Hello world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick a card reading for your next week. So this is a timeless reading. Whenever you discover it, it's for your next 5 to 7 days. I pulled from 3 different decks, 1 card for our overall energy, 4 tarot cards to kind of explain it, and then 2 cards from another deck for advice. At any time, if you know which direction you would like to go in, I have the timestamps down below, and this is the part where you get to engage your intuition to decide which pile you'd like to hear, for me to engage my intuition to then read that pile for you. If you like to pick with crystals, I'm going to be adding them now. So for group number 1, the crystal that we have, this is Septarian Nodule. For group number 2, the crystal that we have is Labradorite. So I'm gonna try to see if we can get the flash on this on camera, because it has a lot of hidden colors in it. And for group number 3, this is Rubellite. So it's got this purple running through it. Okay, so if you still don't know which pile is for you, I'm going to invite you to do an exercise with me at the moment where we are going to close our eyes. We're going to take a deep breath in and release, and just really be present in this moment. Concentrate on what you need to hear, what messages you need to hear for your next week. Go ahead and open your eyes, and wherever your eyes were drawn, that is the pile for you. And I will meet you at your reading. Thank you. Hello, group 1. If you picked the Septarian Nodule, or you liked group 1, or you liked the way the cards were stacked, which I haven't pulled them out yet. We're going to shuffle on camera today. You're in the right place. So first card we have for you is from the deck. I don't have the box, so I don't know the name of the deck, but it's an overall energy for your next week. And we've got the Ant Spirit, so a spirit animal deck. Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. So overall energy for you next week, if you're looking to connect with other people, work with other people, it's not that, this is always easy, but it seems like that's the path that is for you next week. Don't forget that if you need help with something, raise your hand and ask for it. The other cool thing about ants is they're very focused. So this is a time for you to double down on your focus. If you're trying to get something done, ask for help where you need it. You might need to ask for help from a specialist. Ants are very specialized. There's certain ants that do one thing and certain ants that do another thing. So, sometimes we look at the full scope of a project. Maybe it's something around our house. Maybe it's a craft project. Maybe it's even like a work project. And we're like, and I'm guilty of this, so I know a lot of other people are too, like, oh yeah, I can do all of this myself. Well, of course you can. I'm sure you're an industrious person, but sometimes it's not worth the time and effort to put in. That sometimes you just need to consult a specialist in the field, and don't be afraid to do that, to raise your hand. I also like that this is number 1, Ant Spirit. Also, ants are very strong. They're amazingly strong. So I know, kind of going back to the raise your hand if you need help thing, it doesn't mean that you're any less strong or any less capable. It's just kind of like a time thing. Even if you are, it's a work project and you're expected to do it all on your own, maybe there's somebody who has some expertise that can help you or point you in the right direction if you're kind of getting off on something is taking you a little bit, like the Excel spreadsheet isn't working very well. Even just going to YouTube and consulting consulting, watching a half-hour video on it on your thing can help you out. But there might be somebody in your office that wouldn't mind like lending you a hand for 15 minutes to get you in the right direction, something that would have taken you like 3 hours to do, and appreciate the lovely people around you that are willing to help. So let's pull some tarot cards. I picked like huge cards to use this week. I don't know why. I love these cards. They're just kind of hard to flip through. Okay, we've got the High Priestess. Nice. And I swear I've pulled cards from this deck before. Okay, we'll take both of these. We'll take Judgment reversed and Tower reversed. And one more card for next week for our group 1, please. One more card. Group 1 next week. What does group 1 need to know? One more card, group 1 next week. Seven of Wands. Okay, very interesting. First of all, the first 3 cards that you have are major arcana cards. High Priestess, Judgment, Tower. I feel like whatever you're doing could be either have implications that it's you know, energy that started before this or goes on after this. Because like I said, it's major stuff occurring. So the High Priestess over here, she's standing on the moon. One interesting thing, if you are watching this, even though this is timeless, it's for you whenever you see it. You might want to pay attention to the moon phase. When I upload this video, we're very close to the full moon in Pisces. So that could have some meaning for you. Full moons are oftentimes of letting go. And when I have Judgment in reverse and I've got the Tower in reverse, I think letting go of something can be important for you. When I was talking about the ant spirit, maybe, and I said, don't be afraid to raise your hand. Maybe it's time to let go of some pride and ask for help, and just understand that that's okay. That even in this tower over here, we've got people falling out of the tower together, that we're kind of in this together. And a tower can indicate some sort of change. When it's in reverse, it's kind of like we're holding on here. A lot of times, like and even the Seven of Wands is very much of kind of like a holding on, a holding your energy, or a holding your ground kind of energy. So, I'm not sure, like, because sometimes it's like, yeah, you need to hold on. I'm almost leaning to you need to hold on here. Usually I'm like, yeah, shed things. And especially when you're with the full moon, it's about letting go and letting things flow. But we've got the Tower reversed and we've got Seven of Wands. And this is kind of like, it may be difficult, but you should be definitely stand your ground. Let's go over here to the High Priestess though, and Judgment reversed. High Priestess is somebody who is really connected to higher thinking, very spiritually. Judgment can talk about growing spiritually as well. Spirituality, the way you feel, the way you think, can be really important for you this week. You may be in some way feel like you're being attacked on that. Maybe you do full moon rituals and somebody expresses they don't like that. This is kind of like to each their own. Although like Judgment reverse, judgment, just the word judgment, like we judge other people. I feel like letting go of judgment might be important for you. Maybe that comes in when you're working with some other people that you find a new appreciation for a coworker or a friend, that they're able to help you out in a situation. Letting go of judgment. You may have felt a certain way about a person, but they really come through for you and they really help you out. There's a lot of working with other people and working through things next week. The High Priestess, I already touched on this, I think, where I said she's higher wisdom, and in tune with her intuition. And so not necessarily that the other cards are intuition related, but she is so strong intuition, and she's also upright here, that when you are faced with a difficult situation, follow your intuition. Like that gut feeling for you is going to be important. The sacral chakra, I believe, and I think even the sacral chakra is yellow. So that's interesting too, that we've got 2 flashes of yellow in here. And then, if you pick the Septarian nodule, like yellow is really important in that. The sacral chakra, that gut feeling, your gut is the second largest concentration of serotonin in your body after your brain. And sometimes when we're making a decision or we're faced with something, like we kind of have a hard time deciding what we're going to do, because we kind of have an idea and then our brain kind of gets involved and things kind of get cluttered. That could also talk about like letting go of judgment, like don't overthink something. But going with that gut feeling, and I was even talking about this with my husband. He's an engineer. He's very scientific. So he was saying like that your gut doesn't really think, which, okay, it doesn't, but you do have a feeling there that guides you. But he said that that's just because your brain has that initial thought and it kind of like sends that to the gut. So I don't know how clear that is, but it does seem to kind of like go with that initial feeling. Like don't make things harder on yourself. Like don't overthink things. Also with Judgment and High Priestess, which I find, I love that they're together here. Judgment also indicates kind of like a level up, like going up another level. I think that can kind of be, I think you're going to meet some obstacles doing that. But nothing that you can't overcome, because I see you up here at this higher level, like defending yourself. And there are certain, like if a project and you have to turn it in, and maybe it's even like a work project or even a school project, like you're standing up in front of people and you may have been concerned about like the presentation of it, but I feel like it goes well, that not to worry about, because this feels like the Judgment in reverse and the Tower reverse, it feels like there's worry here. Don't beat yourself up. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about these other people coming at you. Like sometimes we get so concerned that other people are going to ask you questions, or this person's going to think this about you, or whatever. But it's like the High Priestess and the Seven of Wands here is like step up in your power, believe in yourself. And when you have that confidence, you are kind of claiming that space. And a lot of people don't challenge you on that. They just accept that, like, because you accept it in yourself. Like that's the key. Like you accept it in yourself. Then there's something with like the hierarchy of, because we have hierarchy, and standing up straight and believing in yourself, and that helps you kind of almost like climb this ladder that kind of seems broken. But the reason why is a lot of times we feel like our work should speak for itself and it's really good, so there we go. But I feel like you're just kind of defending your work, and maybe it's not fair, and that's okay. But as long as you have that deep belief in yourself and your work, I feel like you've got this. You may even, going back to this Ant Spirit time to collaborate if you are doing a presentation, or even if you do feel like you are defending yourself in some way, this could even, I also see this Seven of Wands as like you're defending yourself on social media sometimes. But maybe if you do, you know, sometimes we do need help, sometimes we do need support in that, and don't be afraid to reach out to friends. I think you have people who do believe in you and who are just willing to like, okay, hey, can you come to my presentation and can you ask this question, like a softball question, to get it off on the right foot. And that is if you know, the situation is like that. Otherwise, you know, if you are feeling beaten up in social media, yeah, you shouldn't have to defend yourself and you can let that go. Sure, certainly. Is that always, that doesn't always feel good though. It feels good to kind of win. So you might have a friend, you know, if you in passing say to a friend, hey, did you see this? What do you think of that? Oh yeah, I'll go on there and I'll you know, straighten it out, or I'll back you up, or whatever. I feel like the collaboration is a lot about backing you up, because definitely the Tower here, it's being there together with your compadre, your partner, your whether that's a work person or a friend. So yeah, don't be afraid to raise your hand. But it's so much though here in confidence for you, whatever you're doing. I feel like confidence and collaboration so far. So let's go ahead and get just 2 of these for further advice. Music, listen carefully. For there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. So that's interesting that Judgment comes out here playing a horn too. So yeah, music, one of those things, so important for me as a mom. Like there's just some times where I just feel like I need to sit in my car and listen to music, you know, and I feel like it was something that I connected to a lot more when I was younger. It was something that I made sure I made time to listen to music or explore new things that I don't necessarily do now. Like the radio in my car isn't on by default all the time, where it used to be, because I have people talking to me and it seems like that's where we talk. But you know, don't discount this time where you need to recharge, or you need to rethink something, or, you know, things aren't going exactly the way as planned. Step away from it, listen to music, go for a walk, put your earbuds in and just disconnect for a little while. It's very therapeutic, and you definitely, you know, if you have the opportunity to dance, you should dance. Woo, this one flew out. I didn't do it on camera, sorry. But we have wisdom. You have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now is the time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help you with a challenge. Very interesting. I think that is so connected to this High Priestess, because we were even talking about wisdom there. And these are fairy cards, by the way, Oracle of the Fairies. That's why they've got, like, that's the inspiration behind them. But I just love I just think they're really pretty, and they're very beautiful and light and airy. And I feel like even this wisdom card is kind of light and airy. And after like the Judgment reverse, the Tower here, and the Seven of Wands, I do feel like there needs to be some balance and lightness and airiness for you. And obviously the fairies do as well with music to begin with. But wisdom is so much, like I said, connected to the High Priestess here in your inner wisdom, your inner faith in yourself, and confidence. So I hope that you're not struggling with confidence. I hope that I've talked to you enough here that you know what you're doing. You know, you got this. So don't worry about it. Stand up in your power. And if you need help, you call in the Calvary. you have friends who would love to go through this experience with you. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, Group 2. This is the Labradorite crystal. Let's see if we can really get the flash on it. I can see it here. I hope that, I don't know if I can really see it in the little viewfinder, but such a pretty crystal in person. I hope that you're able to enjoy that beauty. So we are shuffling on camera today. I didn't pull cards. I'm actually shooting this before I shoot my intro. But the first card for you is out of our Animal Oracle deck, overall energy for you for the next 5 to 7 days. Timeless message. We have butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. A lot of times we fight transformation. I don't know if I've ever witnessed a butterfly or caterpillar fighting a transformation, but we as humans do a lot. Even though we may know that we're going from a caterpillar to a butterfly, even though we like push for transformation sometimes, we know we're going to graduate from high school. We know we're going to, we put in a lot of effort to graduate from college, or to get that job opportunity or move, and sometimes we just have so much anxiety about it, even though it's something that we want. Sometimes we're forced into change, and it's a lot of times the change ends up to be very good. But with this, it just is kind of like embrace it and blossom, and don't let it get you down. Don't worry about it. Understand that I saw a little cartoon, a little meme the other day, and it was a butterfly talking to a caterpillar, and the caterpillar is like, you've changed, and the butterfly is like, we're supposed to. So we're supposed to change. Let's see what other cards or advice we have for you, Group 2, for next week. What do we have for Group 2 next week? Take both of those. We've got 2 of Wands and 5 of Pentacles. And 2 more cards for our Group 2 next week. Interesting. Hermit in reverse. 1 more card. Okay, 6 of Wands. Very cool. So ultimately, I was saying, like, even if you've pushed for that change, sometimes, like, as you're going through it, it can be kind of difficult. And that's almost seems like what the progression is here for you. 2 of Wands talks about making a plan, setting out intentions, like where you want to go, what you want to do. It has a lot of potential. This is kind of capturing your passion for something. You usually make a plan because you get excited about something. You really want to do it. It sounds like it feeds something that feeds your soul, kind of energy. And 2 of Wands is like surveying the landscape, like looking up from what you're doing right now to see, kind of like almost visualize where you are going to be, like the next week, the next month, the next year, and whatever steps it is that you need to take to get there. So planning, I think, is really important for you, or sticking to your plan. Like if you put a plan in place, and maybe I will share with you my plan. I was going to do yoga every day for the next year. I did it for like 3 days in a row. And it's kind of like, if you have something like that you really wanted to do, it's revisiting it and forgiving yourself if you didn't get it done. Don't get bogged down here in this 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles can really be kind of feeling like you're left out in the cold. Understand that we all feel like that at some time. I would say, like, in your butterfly transformation, this would be you after encased in the chrysalis, where you've eaten all of these things and you kind of feel really fat. And but you're just sitting there like doing nothing, but excuse me, the transformation is kind of happening here behind you. So I feel like you've set something in motion, and the thing is that a lot of times not everything goes to plan. Things happen, like you really wanted to do this one thing. I really wanted to get up every morning and do yoga. And I slept in. Okay, don't beat yourself up about it. Oh, look at how cool this is. This looks, see how that like kind of rolls into this? Wow. So don't beat yourself up about it. When you are in the planning phase, allow for there to be failures almost. I don't want to say failures because I don't feel like you're a failure. I feel like when you want to do something, but don't forget why you started in the first place. And you didn't start to beat yourself up about it. You didn't start to feel bad about yourself. You started to feel good about yourself. So reward yourself for every time you do something positive, for every time you take a positive change. Don't degrade yourself when that doesn't happen. And I feel like the Hermit in reverse here is kind of like, we have this plan, this really great plan that we're going to go set off and do this thing and climb this mountain, and we're going to get all of these accolades, and it's going to be so wonderful, and we're going to feel so enlightened, and we're going to be this beacon of light for everyone else. But then something happens. The Five of Pentacles or the Hermit in reverse, maybe you can't do it all on your own. Maybe you do need some help. Maybe you hit some obstacles and it's not as enlightening or amazing as you thought it would be, or there's some external unforeseen problems that come up. That's why you can keep going back to this Two of Wands energy. You can keep revisiting your plan. You can keep like editing your plan. It's not like, life happens. That's what happens. Like you feel like you're going to go to college, and then all of a sudden you're in a career where you end up dropping out of college, but it's fine. Like you end up making as much money or more as if you would going to college, or you drop out for a little while and you end up going back. Like if that's something that upsets you, end up going back. You have, I think in this transformation, like you have the ability to control where you go with this. Don't get bogged down in the obstacles. Don't get bogged down in what comes and harms you. Now, I wouldn't say, okay, I said harms you. I wouldn't say harms you, but I said harms you. Don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as a growth opportunity. Look at it as a new way that you have now grown, because at the end of the day, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. And you may need to break your goals down to like bite-sized pieces. Because sometimes we look at something like, for instance, becoming a doctor, and that looks so overwhelming, especially to somebody who is just right out of high school, and it's like just spent 12 years, 13 years at school if you consider kindergarten, and I need to go how many more years? I need to do how many more things? Well, bite-sized chunks. This year I need to do this. This year I need to do that. I need to get, my residency, and I need to just make it through it. And the Six of Wands is taking those victories, taking that victory lap, taking that, being proud of yourself for the things that you do. And the only person you should be, and I think that's why kind of the Hermit in reverse is here as well. Because a lot of times we have this goal, right? Like, I want to do this thing. I want to, Kylie Jenner keeps coming into my mind, right? She's supposedly the youngest billionaire ever, blah, blah, blah. Well, I want to start my own business. And then if you compare yourself to Kylie Jenner, she had a lot of opportunities that other people didn't have. And I think it came out that Forbes was wrong on their assessment of that too. Not that she's not successful, she definitely is. But the only person you should be, with this transformation and change, the only person you should be comparing yourself is to who you were yesterday. And I think that's kind of like the Hermit in reverse here, is that, you know, the Hermit is so much kind of about yourself, kind of about like you feeling good about yourself, you feeling good about your accomplishments. And I feel like the Six of Wands and standing up and having, like I said, that victory lap, when you do something positive. Okay, I wanted to do yoga every single day for the next year. I did it 3 times this week. You know what? That's a victory, because that's 3 more times than I wouldn't, you know, that's 3 times more that I did it this week than I wouldn't, you know, if I didn't have that goal that I would have done it. You know what I mean? So I hope that came out to what I mean. But, you know, don't beat yourself up. Like the Five of Pentacles here is just kind of really beating herself up. And because things just didn't go to plan. But transformation is hard. Do you know that a butterfly like completely liquefies itself within a chrysalis to become what it becomes? Yeah, that I'm not going to do that. But I will work towards my goal, and I will be proud of myself when I meet that goal. And you know, the other thing with the butterflies is they just are beautiful, and they respect beauty in nature. You know, they don't fly by a rose because they're too busy, right? They're very playful. So I feel like there needs to be, because the playfulness is missing here in the Five of Pentacles. It's getting like too serious. Make sure that you embrace this Six of Wands energy, and you have fun and you play. And let's see what the fairies have to offer. So I've got 2 more cards here. So whatever you're doing, make sure that you have fun with it. Any advice for our group 2? What advice do we have for group 2? Nature signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need to open our hearts and minds. So when I was talking about the butterfly, you know, the butterfly doesn't pass up an opportunity to smell a rose. The butterfly is just very playful and beautiful, and you know, their path is not direct. They flutter around here and there, and just really light and beautiful energy. There's actually a lot of butterflies in this picture. There's one, like a big one here, but they're all over the place. And of course, our fairy has wings. So the other thing that you can do is look for synchronicities in nature. You know, I might be talking about roses. If you see roses, and it's just something to brighten your day. Don't get bogged down. Don't be too serious. And one more card for our group 2 here. One more card of advice for our group 2. Magical gateway. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown. Yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. I love this. I love it for the butterfly spirit and for this 2 of Wands spirit. Don't let, you know, the fact that you've never been where you want to go hold you back, of course. You've never been there. Just go out and try it. And there's a lot of rewards there. I was talking about the caterpillar going inside the chrysalis and getting completely liquefied. Like, that's got to be a terrifying experience. If a caterpillar had the same consciousness as us and understood what was happening rather than just living in the moment and just going with the flow and like, okay, this is just what happens, they would never make that transition to a butterfly. Would you? Like, oh yeah, so I'm going to completely liquefy my body. Nah, I don't think so. I'm checking out. But understand that, you know, you're going to hit some, I feel like the Hermit reversed in the Five of Pentacles is like, hey, you know what? There can be some obstacles here, but don't let that stop you, because at the end of the road here, the Six of Wands is a victory card. The Six of Wands is like, this is already yours. You step out, you with courage, and you step it, you know, you go toward what you really want. You can absolutely have it. Is it going to take some courage? Yes. Are you going to have to climb some mountains and then realize it's the wrong mountain? Well, maybe. Are you going to have some days where you're like, I don't want to do this? Yeah, you are. Is it worth it though? Yes, it is. It's absolutely worth it. So that's what I have for you, Group 2. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, Group 3. If you picked the number 3, or you liked this pretty Rubellite crystal, or you just like the way that the cards looked, well, you're in the right spot. Here is your reading. And the first card that came out for you is the Rhino Spirit. Overcome any obstacle. So this rhino, like, just think about the rhinos. They are ready for battle, right? They're ready to go. They're determined, and they're going to get what they want. And I feel like that's a good spirit for you. I feel like also, you know, this isn't necessarily in the book about the rhino. I don't think it is, but when I think about rhino, what I think is so incredible about them is how, like, they look like little armored tanks. And for somebody who is an empath, or for somebody who is very, you know, just sensitive to energies or sensitive to other people around you, it might be time to put some protection or put some boundaries around yourself. I say, you know, maybe you don't identify as an empath, but if you're getting bogged down by your family, or maybe you have this uncle who is just like such a naysayer, and anytime you tell him something, or a friend something, like they're not in a positive mindset for you. First of all, understand that that says more about them than it does about you. But, you know, sometimes we can take that energy on from them. And I feel like the Rhino Spirit, it talks about not letting that happen. And you either learn from your past and like don't tell them at all, or I like to, you know, even just out in public, sometimes you just get like this really negative energy, this really negative vibe. One thing that I love to do to put armor around myself is I will close my eyes, and I love the idea, well, there's two ways. First, you can put a bubble around yourself and fill it with bright white light and of protection, you know, call in that white light from source, and let that protect you for your day. I also love to kind of like envision myself being covered in metal. I like to, you know, and I love the mirrored surface kind of it. And if you've ever seen the Silver Surfer, kind of like my body looking like that, try it, because it's amazing. And what I love about the mirrored surface thing is how people who are really negative, like they are looking to unload their negativity on somebody else. But if you have this mirror, you're reflecting back their energy to them, they don't want to talk to you. But people who are positive, like they love talking to other positive people, and you have this mirrored surface, you will attract positive people. I'm telling you, it works. You can believe me, or you can try it yourself, or you can, just avoid people who are negative, and put that like physical boundary. But I love that technique, so just felt called to share it. Also, really interesting here, I just noticed, and I don't know why I just noticed this, because right here, this would be like the third eye chakra with that rhino. And I said, I don't know why I didn't just notice it, because, the rhino is known for their horns here. But the third eye, maybe we are called to develop that this week, the pineal gland. Those two techniques that I shared with you of protection around yourself, that kind of relates to that, because they are seeing with spiritually rather than with your two eyes. Okay, let's see, what else do we have for group 3 before I get too far off on a tangent here? Wheel of Fortune. Okay, anything else for group 3? The Empress reversed. Okay, what else for group 3? What else do I have for group 3? Okay, 5 of Swords, and one more card here. Let's pull one more card for group 3. No, that was... Okay. All right, I will take both of these because they came out together. This Ace of Wands and 8 of Wands. Okay. So, usually I take 4 cards, but I think those are meant to read together. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune can be kind of a chaotic energy. It can be like ups and downs. Someday you're up, next day you're down. And it also talks to like definitely cycles going on. The snakes represent change. This, I think, it's an Egyptian god he goes back to. I think, is it Anubis who's the god of the underworld? Anyway, everything's a cycle. So this too shall pass. And it's really about enjoying the good times and letting the bad times pass. When I was talking about overcoming any obstacle, and then we get the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune can present as karma sometimes, like karmic energy, karma coming out. So there is an element of like stepping up and taking control of your future, of the direction of where your life is going. And I feel like that is important. Empress in reverse, I think, is really related to the rhino spirit when I was talking about the boundaries. Empress is such a loving and nurturing card. She even has the heart here. Pomegranate, that represents abundance. This is in reverse for you, not that abundance isn't for you, but she has so much abundance that she is like just giving to other people. When it's in reverse, I feel like it is more about you. It's more about yourself. It's more about your particular energy. So sometimes we don't want to put boundaries around ourselves because we feel like, especially the more giving you are, like you're just prone to give, and you don't even think about it. Like you have to take like that extra step to think about like, hey, you need to take care of you for a minute. You can't pour from an empty cup, okay? The better off and the better, well, the more you take care of yourself, the better position that you are in the world to take care of other people. So don't ever feel bad for stepping up in your power over here with the Wheel of Fortune and directing your life to the way that you want it to be. Because I feel like you are like a giving and nurturing person. And sometimes people can guilt trip you because they know that, right? A lot of times narcissists, when I was talking about putting protection around yourself, like the first thing I tell empaths to do is to put protection around themselves, because a lot of times narcissists specifically seek them out because they are so giving. And with the Five of Swords here too, I feel like, there's been battles that have been waging, and I don't think you want to fight battles. I think you just want to like help people, but there's somebody who wants to fight battles with you. Five of Swords is fighting battles with other people and like winning the battle but losing the war. Like you fighting with friends, but you kind of like lose those friends. Not necessarily you, although if that resonates with you, then go ahead and take that message. Like if you have been disagreeing with them about something, sometimes the best thing to do is agree to disagree. So challenges that come at you, you worry about yourself, worry about you. You cannot control things for other people. You can barely control things for yourself. And the Empress is talking about, this is about you. This is controlling yourself and your future and where you want to go. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying, hey, step up and do this. You can't, the person that is in the best position to take care of you is you. But that's also true for somebody else. Like you're not necessarily the best person in a position to take care of someone else. I mean, if you have an infant at home, that's one thing, but your spouse, like they have to take care of themselves first too. And you can't expect them to take care of you before themselves, right? So you have to take care of yourself first too. And I feel like that's something that you need to hear. And I don't know if that is related to this battle, or if that's just the battle is talking about, putting on your thick skin and, yeah, thick skin. When somebody says something to you that, sometimes people they know how to really break your heart, how to hit your heart, because they know exactly what to say to you to upset you. This is putting your thick skin on. And a lot of times the things that people say are really, it's a reflection of them. It's not a reflection of you. Okay. Somebody will criticize something that you did. Well, or a choice that you're making, like you want to go to school to be a nurse. And well, that's a long time at school to do that, and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know about being a nurse and working around 6. That's that's their limitations. That's their limited thinking. Don't let their limited thinking impact you and what you really want to do. This is all about you. Put that thick skin on and don't worry about criticism coming your way. Because the criticism isn't about you. The criticism is about the person who's making those statements. And then I said I felt like these things they came out together, and I feel like they needed to read together, because we've got the Ace of Wands and we've got the Eight of Wands reversed. Ace of Wands is a lot of new opportunity, and it's a lot of new beautiful energy coming your way. And I feel like it can be really a passion project. When I said, you wanted to go to school for something, whatever is your passion there, follow your passion. It's your passion. You're the one who has to live with it. You're the one who has to put in the work to do it. Make sure it's what you want. And when you step off into this new passion, you're following your new passion, we've got the Eight of Wands reversed. So Eight of Wands talks about something coming in super quick, right? But when it's coming in reverse, I think that it's just telling you don't get discouraged if things take longer than you think that they should. Because, right, Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. So one of those obstacles might be that things are just not progressing or happening as quickly as you think that they should. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It doesn't mean that you can't go down that path. And it, you know, sometimes it gives those people who would criticize you some boldness to continue to do that. Put that thick skin on. Don't let them do it. Put those boundaries in. Okay. Flourish. The lotus flower fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. Very pretty. I think that would be really so much, it is really so much related to the Empress, especially though where it's talking about, you know, shedding that light on unclear areas of your life, because I feel like we're really talking about your life and what you want to do here. Of course, you know, you can shed light for others, but make sure that you're the one who's taken care of first, and then, you know, just be a very kind of like beacon for others. A lot of the imagery of the Empress looks a lot like this fairy card too, so it is connected in that way. You know, we do have like a little bulging tummy here. The Empress is usually often depicted as being pregnant. That's because she's coming up with new ideas, or could be actually pregnant if you want to be. But usually she just has a lot of abundance of ideas, and she, you know, she's an ultra caring person. So she would be somebody who would have a lot of children and really want to take care of them. Let's see, one more card here for group 3. Group 3. Magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings. The fairies say you can bless others too. Very beautiful. I think that, you know, when I originally talked about the rhino spirit and that I said one boundary or one way to protect yourself is to, you know, just sit here, close your eyes and think of a bubble around you, and then being filled with bright white healing light from source. That really kind of reminds me of this magical blessings. So if you want to claim magical blessings from the fairies, that's lovely. But you can also claim the magical blessings and that protection from source energy, and whatever source energy looks like to you or how you define it. So if you are Christian and you want to, you know, from God or Jesus, you know, or angels, I feel like you can feel really connected to that energy and pray and bring it in. If you have another faith, you know, the energy itself, it doesn't change based on how you define it. I feel like we're really, all of our religions and spiritual practices are related in some way. I don't think we were created by someone different. I think we were all created together and we have that connection, but I didn't want to get off on that tangent too much. Just that there's magical blessings here for you. I think it's really very much connected to the Wheel of Fortune and saying, you know, if you really want something, you can go out and get it. You are blessed. Sometimes we feel like we need to know that blessing, even though we're blessed every day. So that's what I have for you, group 3. 3. I really feel like there's a lot of lovely energy here for you, a lot of like new creative energy. It just might not take off as quickly as you think it should. So hold those boundaries, have that thick skin, and continue on, because you're the best person to take care of you. So I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you.